This is KEXP. It's 90.3 FM and KEXP.org. My name is Chili. Really happy to have some live music today. Joining us in KEXP's performance space, Flor De Toloache. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm so glad you're here.
We're really excited.
Cool. Let's hear some music, please.
Absolutely.
As you are, as you were, as I want you to be, as a friend, as an old enemy. Take your time, hurry up, choice is yours, don't be late. Take a rest, as a friend, as an old memory. Yeah, memory, yeah, memory, yeah, memory, yeah. Doused in blood, soaked in bleach, as I want you to be, as a trend, as a friend, as an old memory, yeah, memory, yeah, memory, yeah, memory, yeah. And I swear that I don't have a gun. No, I don't have a gun. No, I don't have a gun. Hello, 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 Bésame, bésame mucho, como si fuera esta noche la última vez. Bésame, bésame mucho. Tengo miedo tenerte, perderte después. Bésame, bésame mucho. Love me. forever and make all my dreams come
Flor De Toloache, live at KEXP. Another track?
Sorry?
Another track for us?
Yes, for sure.
Please, I love it. Sounded great today.
Estoy perdida en el recuerdo. Sufriendo voy porque tú estás lejos de mí. No entiendo yo cuál fue la razón de tu partir. Suplico al cielo poder vivir con esta historia gris.
Lovely. Live here at KEXP, Flor De Toloache. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm so glad to have you here at KEXP.
Muchas gracias.
A ustedes. I'm glad you're here. Y'all are relentless. You tour like nonstop, and you just did some shows in Seattle.
Yep.
But on your time off, you went into the recording studio here
That's
as well.
right.
Yeah.
We did.
Trying to finish his
Late
third
night.
album.
Which is on the way. I want to talk about that. Let's go back in time a little bit, though. Y'all have been together for over 10 years now.
Yeah.
How did New York's first and only all-female mariachi group come to be?
Well, we started in 2008, and the idea came about. It just kind of was sparked out of me playing mariachi in New York City and being one of the only female players of mariachi in the scene in New York City about 6 years prior to this group. And, after a while, I was like, oh, man, I can't believe there isn't an all-female mariachi in New York City, and being such a important city in the United States. So I knew there were other female groups in the West Coast mostly, and I thought it would be a cool idea, but also it was an excuse for me to create music with other women. I didn't know that many women musicians in New York, so I thought it was a good idea to come together and create something beautiful and create a safe space for women to also feel free to express themselves and also make money doing what they love. And also I wanted to share my network, my working network that I had created for myself with other women. So all these reasons sparked the idea of Flor De Toloache. And I had met Shay Fiol through the hip hop scene many years before that, and I was already working with her. So the first person I thought of was her, and I called her up and I was like, hey, do you want to start this mariachi with me? And she was down, and she can add to that story. But it's been an amazing adventure. We didn't think it was going to be so hard to succeed in terms of we already had our careers going on. So, but it did take a while for us to get our name out there, and we didn't know all these, obviously as a woman, you have to deal with all these obstacles, but as a women's group, you have to deal with even more obstacles, so we had to overcome those. And being an independent musician in an independent band in New York City was also really really rough, but we love what we do, and we played in the subway, we played in restaurants, quinceañeras, funerals, weddings, all kinds of stuff. So, and it led to many beautiful other things.
Very cool. There's definitely things that block women often in the music business. Is there things specific to mariachi, not traditionally a female genre or a female-led genre?
Yeah, well, we get paid less, but that happens not just in mariachi, that happens in many industries. The cultural language also for me I was raised in Puerto Rico, and even the way that I expressed myself was offensive sometimes. So there were some culture shocks, cultural frictions, I would say. But also men want women mariachis to dress a certain way and to follow these mariachi rules, and it's part of the tradition, and it's important to preserve the tradition, but it's also important to evolve as well. So both can live at the same time, and they're both very important. And as art is an expression of what's going on around you, and this is one of those reflections. So both are important, and hopefully someday we can have that support of and the traditional community. Some people obviously support us, but some people don't too. We've created some controversy just with the simple fact that we wear pants and some other things. So
one of the things I really like about the group is you definitely embrace the classics and traditional mariachi and respect and expand on it. But you're so open to taking chances, not just lyrically in the songs that you do, but musically too. It's mariachi at heart, but you're doing cumbias and other different versions. I really dig that bass and the expansion that you're doing. It's super cool. Thank you. And really unique. So the group itself comes from many different backgrounds, and I mean musically too. So, Mireya, you have a mariachi background to some extent, right? Or were you the only member? Like your father was a musician?
Yeah, my dad was a mariachi singer in San Juan, Puerto Rico. He's from Mexico. And my mother's a beautiful singer as well. And I think everybody has either a musical family or musical experience from very young. Jessie comes from a mariachi background, and she lives in Mexico as well. But her dad is a composer and mariachi player. But Shay had never played mariachi.
Mm-hmm. So what kind of music were you playing? What kind of music were the other players doing?
Well, when Mireya and I first met, had moved to New York to pursue a solo career. So I was playing my original singer-songwriter music, which had influences of, anything that I loved. I wanted to put into my music, but it kind of had like somewhat of like an alternative rock, R&B, bluesy, folky vibes, jazzy, and those are my musical influences. I come from a musical family. When I was born, my dad and my mom and my uncle had a bluegrass band, but my mom and my grandmothers are classical pianists, and my dad went to school for music for a time. Well, not for music, but played in school. So I come from a musical background, and I knew that it was going to be a challenge.
And what did you think when she was like, "Let's do mariachi"? We were like,
It's just, it's like very serendipitous, because I never would have imagined that I would be doing, having to kind of start all over again after being in the city for almost, I think it was at that point like 6 or 7 years, and really like being on this hardcore path to pursue my solo career. And so I was like, yeah, I want to try this. And I was like, but I'm releasing my album next year, blah, blah, blah. And then like that, once I started getting into the music, I was so moved because it was so new to me. But once I dove in, this is incredible music. It's so passionate, and I wanted to be that vocalist, like to sing the rancheras and belt, and that was something I always wanted to get under my belt. So I was super excited, but I didn't know the extent. I wasn't familiar with mariachi. I didn't really even understand how tied to the culture it was, and how important it is in people's lives. And so not only did it just become like a musical journey, but it was also like, an opening into Mexican culture, an opening into I wanted to learn to speak Spanish because I'm half Cuban. So I got to speak more Spanish. So it really transformed my life completely, and took over my life in the best way. I never would have imagined that I would be pursuing music for the next 11 years almost in a women's mariachi, and it's the coolest thing that I never thought of. Thankfully, Mireya did, and asked me to be in it. But I played guitar before this, and so it was sort of not easy, because the right hand is like a whole beast of a thing in mariachi. So I had the chords, but not this rhythm part. So starting over, it was rough, but it was just what I wanted.
and I'm guessing the different musical backgrounds also, I think, positively influenced the unique sound that you have while doing mariachi.
Yeah.
Very
Definitely.
cool. And there's 4 of you here today, but I saw you in New York City one time, and there was like 9 or 10 of you. So does the band grow and expand depending on touring and recording?
Yeah, absolutely. We were 4 core members, and we tour as 4 mostly. Mm-hmm. But when we have big shows in New York or out of New York and budget allows it, then we invite more of the ladies of Flor De Toloache.
Gotcha. We're talking to Flor De Toloache here at KEXP, and we talked a little bit about you guys recording. You're working on a new record, which is coming out soon.
Yes.
May 31st.
May 31st. Very cool.
Yes.
And some recorded here at Avast in Seattle.
Yeah.
I love that. And speaking of, you have some new tracks today?
Yes. We have a new track that we played for the first time at Nectar Lounge.
I saw that. That was cool.
Yes. We're going to play that.
Very cool. And also, what's the other one? Besos de Mezcal.
Yep.
And that was produced by Camilo Lara.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
How did that come to be?
We were on tour with Mexerse in La Santa Cecilia 2 years ago. And we've heard of him, obviously, in all of his trajectory and all of the bands he has put together, and we are fans of his music. So it was really cool to be finally, really cool to be on tour with him, and we got to connect with him and really talk. And then when we were talking about collaborations for this new album, our manager was like, we could make that happen, and we loved his stuff. We were gonna do a cumbia. We thought of him instantly. So he was down, and it was great. It was a beautiful experience. We got to write the song together from scratch, and then he produced it, and that was our first single for this album. So it was a little sneak peek of our new album coming out May 31st.
Very cool. And I like the collaborations. You guys have worked on other projects too, like Chicano Batman.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the making movies stuff.
Yeah.
Another great band from the U.S. out of Kansas City. Those collaborations are great. No Te Va Gustar.
Yep.
You have more collabs coming on this new record?
Yeah.
Yes. We also worked with the Arcs.
Mm-hmm.
With Dan Auerbach.
Oh, yeah, from the Black Keys. Yeah.
Exactly.
Very, very cool. Can you
Yep.
tell us what we got coming up on the record as far as who's going to be on there?
I don't think so.
Okay.
We can tell you. We can tell you too, right? Mm-hmm. Las Migas. They're from Spain.
Mm-hmm.
They're an all-female group. Super talented, and we have this track that I guess it kind of has like rumba flamenco, right? And so we were like, oh, we definitely want to work with them on this, and so we have them. And then when we were at the Folk Alliance Festival, Alex Cuba, who we're a huge fan of, he happened to be there, and we were still in the process of writing. So we hit him up. We're like, hey, you want to come and write with us? And actually, while I was on maternity leave, Mireya and Julie met them with making movies last year. So, we had a little in, and so we were like, hey, come to the studio. And he came to the studio, and we wrote a song, and he's actually singing on it. So that's amazing. And then there's two other potential collaborations, and we can't share those yet.
Okay. Coming soon.
Yes.
But we have a really cool single that we released with Miguel,
Oh, yes.
who happens to be Mireya's cousin.
Really? Oh, I
It's
didn't
called
know
Te Lo
that.
Dije.
And that one's already out, no?
It's already out.
It's out on his EP.
Ah, cool.
That's called Te Lo Dije. Yeah. Our grandmothers were sisters, and they used to sing together in Mexico. And
Wow.
we didn't grow up knowing each other, but we met a couple years ago through his dad, who reached out to me, and he was like, oh, my son does music too. You guys should connect. And his name is Miguel, but I didn't know it was the Miguel. So I hit him up, and of course he didn't get back to me for a while because he's like, this random cousin is hitting me up. But finally we got connected through music, and then we got to collaborate, which was very, very special. And there's a little video to an interview with both of us on Remezcla, and came out a couple weeks ago. So you can check it out. It's on Spotify too, on NPR, and it's called Te Lo Dije.
Okay, we'll check it. And you have some new songs you're going to play right now for us, correct? Yes. Live here at KEXP. This is Flor De Toloache.
Tú y yo compartíamos un mundo donde estábamos muy juntos siempre, pero presentí que comencé yo a perderte, se me iba mi confidente. Parece ser un atardecer, si este es el final, no lo quiero ver. No sigas, yo sé lo que me dices, no falta que me expliques, es que duele si te vas. No sigas, con todo estoy de acuerdo, si lloro no es por eso, es que duele la verdad. Nuestro amor, peligrosa melodía que con dulce alegría atardecer. Si este es el final, no lo quiero ver. No sigas, yo sé lo que me dices. No falta que me expliques, es que duele si te vas. No sigas, con todo estoy de acuerdo. Si lloro no es por eso, es que duele la verdad. No sigamos viviendo esta falsedad. Parece ser un atardecer. Si este es el final, no lo quiero ver. No sigas, yo sé lo que me dices. No falta que me expliques, es que duele si te vas. No sigas, con todo estoy de acuerdo. Si lloro no es por eso, es que duele la verdad.
Amazing. Flor De Toloache on KEXP. You got one more track for us, too? Another new one?
We have our single, Besos de Mezcal, produced by Camilo Lara.
Me llaman la mezcalera porque canto la noche entera, embrujando los callejeros hasta el amanecer. Yo sigo bailando con los espíritus amados. Te juro por mil agaves que mi amor está en el fondo. Besos de mezcal, se me sube la mezcalina. Besos de mezcal, enciende mi adrenalina. Besos de mezcal, se me sube la mezcalina. Besos de mezcal, enciende mi adrenalina. Hay un solo tipo de beso que desata mis secretos. Si tú te atreves a acercarte, te delato ese misterio. Con un solo beso vas a llegar hasta el fin del universo y nunca, nunca te olvidarás del cariño que te tengo. Besos de mezcal, se me sube la mezcalina. Besos de mezcal, enciende mi adrenalina. Besos de mezcal, se me sube la mezcalina. Besos de mezcal, enciende mi adrenalina. Tiki 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 ta ta, juega con mi amor. Tiki 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 ta ta, beso seductor. Besos de mezcal, juega con mi amor. Dame un beso reposado pa' que estemos en calor. Besos de mezcal, se me sube la mezcalina. Besos de mezcal, enciende mi adrenalina. Besos de mezcal, se me sube la mezcalina. Besos de mezcal, enciende mi adrenalina.
Very, very nice. Live music here at KEXP, Flor De Toloache. Sounded wonderful. Thank you. And sorry if I forgot to ask Julie, how did you come to be in the group? Were you living in New York City?
I was. I actually met Mireya at Zinc Bar, which is a small little jazz club in a basement, sort of. And she was sitting at the bar with a fellow musician who I had known through the salsa scene, because that's kind of where I was at musically at that time in my life. I was playing lots of salsa. And and then he introduced us, and then I walked away, and then he was like, no, wait. You have to know that she's starting a mariachi, and she needs a trumpet player. And I was like, what? He's like, I don't know how it didn't occur to me. Yes, she's been looking, and, and here you are. So I was so excited. We hugged, and we jumped up and down and held hands, because I had never played mariachi, and I've heard it since I was little, and I knew how powerful the trumpet role was, but I had never gotten to imitate or try it in my life. And I was all in once she invited me, and I've been here for 10 years. So
Amazing.
Yeah.
How long has it been this for as a core group?
The four?
Yeah.
Okay, well.
Well, yeah, the three of us, 10 years, but
Gotcha.
Jesse
Okay.
joined the band about a year ago.
How did how did you guys connect?
Shay says that we stalked her on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
We needed a bass player. I mean, it's very hard to find a female player that plays guitarrón. And so we needed somebody to commit to the band. And we were even looking for somebody to learn the instrument. But we saw her on Facebook through a friend of ours who's a bass player in New York, plays jazz. And she's like, oh, I met this girl in Veracruz at a festival. And we reached out to her, and she was down. And here she is.
Well, I'm so glad. You guys are amazing. I really like what you do.
Check it out.
Keep doing it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And everyone listening, they tour all the time and
Yes.
play, so please catch them live. It's a super fun show, and I'm looking forward to the new music as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much for having us.
You're welcome. This is Flor De Toloache, live at KEXP, Seattle.
Discover new music at listenerpowered KEXP.org.